Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love. On tonight's episode, we'll look at everything you need to know before the LA Galaxy face off against their interstate rival, San Diego FC, this Saturday, August 29th. An interstate rival they've never beaten before. This match holds a lot of storylines like CHUCKY Lozano's return to the team that exiled him, Sergi Roberto's potential MLS and Galaxy debut, the fact that it is a six-pointer, but for us, it means the return of our special guest, Tony Sanchez, co-founder of San Diego Football, who will be here to fill us in on San Diego before the two teams face off again. Plus, is the Galaxy about to add another young Brazilian star? All that and more coming up on tonight's episode of La Cuna Galaxiana. DJ, you know what to do. Spin it. Cheese up.
Yeah, let's get it started with a new year, new me. Cuna Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the six star from the Jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. It's La Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans and all you soccer fans out there, wherever you may be. You have a home here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Halone. You can always find my written work at the Sporting Tribune, and you can find me online at El Escudero de LA. And of course, since I'm here, you have him here as well. My co-host, the Cosmopolitan one, jet setting across the other land, being all rich and powerful like he likes to do. Anandita Kirana, el papa de Natita. How you feeling, papa? Good morning to you.
Again, goodly morning to you, sir. Another cortadito for you guys in chat. So, salud. Cheers.
Yes, enjoy that cortadito. And, you know, hopefully we're going to be enjoying an LA Galaxy win at the end of the weekend, but we have a lot to talk about and a lot to get through before that gets possible. We have a great guest for you guys, Tony Sanchez. I mean, this cat, one of the co-founders of San Diego Football, and he, is one of the guys that is the go-tos for covering San Diego and for getting San Diego information. So shout out to him. Thank you once again for being on with us. And chat, thank you for being here. Already doing your thing. Big Scott, how you doing, papa? Much love to you, and much love to all the Quineros out there doing their thing. And yeah, I mean, Ananda, we have a lot of show to get to, so I guess I'll get into it. I've talked to you guys about Pravda Galaxiana a couple of different times. Watch out for that. If you got something to say, if you got something to get off your chest, if you just simply want to shoot the shit with us, go ahead and hit up those search chats. You know what to do. Ananda, do you have something to tell the folk?
Well, other than you guys can follow me, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. Again, brain at this time in the morning works a little differently, but cortadito is the caffeine's gonna
slowly starting to kick in.
The caffeine's gonna kick in just a second. Yeah, you can find us on all of your socials at La Cuna Galaxiana. Name of the show, pretty simple there. Again, I don't know if Rob mentioned it, but guys, go ahead and check out the back catalog. We had some really good guests on recently. We had
I did not mention
ex LA Galaxy Academy and LA Galaxy forward Preston Judd. We had Katia Castorena on.
Friend of the show, Preston Judd.
Yes.
Friend of the show, Katia Castorena.
Exactly. And shout out Poppy. Of course, if you guys want to figure out or were like, who is Poppy? We'll go ahead and check out that interview and you will know all the deets. And of course, we had Katia Castorena on earlier this week with some Chucky Cheese May. We're going to get into more Chucky Cheese May today, but that was a really good show as well. So, guys, if you haven't caught
We need
that,
a
go ahead.
jingle for Chucky Cheese Man.
Chucky Cheese May. Something.
Chucky Cheese Man.
All right. So before the show gets super off the rails, papá, como siempre,
All right,
antes de
let's get into it.
olvidarme, buenos días,
Get
tardes
serious
o
now. We have a game to
noches,
talk about.
y bienvenidos a otro capítulo de la Cuna Galaxiana. Guys, this is a big one. This is a huge game. Rob mentioned it's a 6-pointer. We will debate later if this is a must-win. I know mathematically, you know, Josh always likes to say if the maths isn't involved, then there are no such thing as must-win. But let's debate that because I think this is a massive one. This is a huge game for momentum. Time is running out. Like I'm already starting to do maths. So if I'm already starting to do maths, I'm sure all of you are starting to do maths. And because this is not an easy road to make the playoffs. I mean, nothing is easy in this league, but this team needs momentum. This team needs a kick up the backside. This team needs a jolt. And what a way to do it in Chucky's homecoming or his return to San Diego.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, usually homecoming has like the connotation of being really, really good, right? And I don't know if it's gonna be really, really good. How will he be received? Anyway, we'll talk about that kind of stuff with our mate Tony here in a little bit. But should we get into some shout outs?
Let's do it.
Guys, I'm not sure if you are so inclined or not, but on 8/24, we always like to take a moment to remember the Mamba, Kobe Bryant, on 8/24 day. And since we weren't with each other, or I believe we were, but I believe it slipped our mind, so shame on us. But we wanted to call out that one really quick. It is Harry Potter night on 9/12 at the Galaxy. So that'll be the Galaxy game against Seattle. So go ahead and keep it locked here for more information on that as it comes out. 15,000 fans through the gate will receive a limited Harry Potter scarf. Fernanda, I know that you and the ministers of finance are big Harry Potter heads, man. So I'm expecting you guys to try to get your hands on those. And so I don't know if you saw, but the Galaxy players were actually throwing out their favorite spells. Do you have a favorite Harry Potter spell?
Galaximus Goodimus.
So I said a spell, so not a miracle. No, I'm just playing. Anyway,
yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Big Marmon, what's up? Nate the Great Shelley, Joe 30, cool. Cthulhu, Alex Guti, man, Alex comes in here is throwing around his poodle sex is making me feel all beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I already said, Big Scott, what up? Big Tom, the one and only, man. I think somebody said in the chat earlier, like all the usual suspects. Yes, Marvin. Yes, they are all here. All the homies, all the Cuneros are here. Let's go. Also, the VCFC match, the next one, y'all need to roll up to is Friday, August 28th. So tomorrow versus Colorado Rapids 2, and that's away. So apologies. So it's going to be kind of hard to roll up to that one. But definitely roll up to the next one at the Willie Roll. They are still in fourth place after 23 games played, 11-6-6 record on 42 points. Let's hope VCFC gets the win in the next one. Speaking of VCFC, the Galaxy have one for the future. Ananda, they have signed academy defender Matthew Leon to a homegrown contract. Leon is 15 years old. He's going to be signed to an MLS Next Pro contract through June 30th, 2028. And then he'll join the first team on an MLS contract as a homegrown player beginning July 1st, 2028 through 2031 with a club option for 2032. He's from the LBC, man. So this is a Galaxy like dream right here, right? Find a player from your backyard, develop him, have him come up through the first team, and then hopefully he stars for you. And then so this player Leon was a star at the 2026 Generation Adidas Cup Rising 11. He was featured as one of the center backs to watch. He's earned multiple call-ups to the U15 boys national team, and he was selected to the U14 boys national talent identification camp in May 2025. He's also the brother of LAFC Academy product and current Pumas player Tony Leon. Says Will Kuntz. Matthew's signing is another proud moment for our academy and a reflection of our excellent work being done throughout our professional development pathway. He has shown tremendous potential throughout his time in our academy and as part of the U.S. national team youth system. We're incredibly excited to see him take the next step in his development and begin his professional career with the Galaxy. That is one to watch. Keeping it here with more VCFC signings. Additionally, they've also signed Brett Fan to a professional contract and Jeremy Gize, forward Luis Mueller, and Palmer Bank. So, guys, the Galaxy setting themselves up for the future, hoping to develop this pipeline that we always talk about, the very important pipeline of developing your talent and having them be able to contribute to that first team so you can go ahead and allocate your resources to other things like, bringing in high-level DPs and stuff like that. So I like the way the Galaxy are moving. They're setting themselves up for the future, like I said. Ananda, do you have anything to add on the impact of this?
Yeah, you said it, setting up themselves up for the future. It'll just be interesting to see the ratio of what youngsters move on, like Vinny Garcia, for example, who already has a pre-contract with Chelsea. Of course, in 2028, we reported on that a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it on this show. And which of them stay, like Harbor Miller, right? So, but again, hopefully we'll see more development pathways. And we're seeing one for Ruben Ramos Jr. unfold right before our eyes, hopefully. So, but Baba, we could, of course, there's another source of getting young starlets, and that's in the transfer market.
Yeah. We have our colleague Demi Calhoun reporting that the Galaxy will be looking to make one final audition before the close of the window. Shout out, Damien. And it looks like the Galaxy are going back to Brazil. Could they be bringing back Doug? No, it's not Doug. It is Palmeiras winger Riquelme Felipe. The 19-year-old is being reported by ESPN Brazil and Diego Firmino as being a target for the LA Galaxy. Of course, other teams are interested in Miami and NYCFC. And it looks like Inter Miami is actually the team that's in pole position to sign him. Multiple outlets that cover Miami are reporting that this is pretty much a done deal. It's not an expectation of if, it's a matter of when, in terms of how they're reporting it anyway. Of course, like Will Kuntz has said a couple of times, it's the most dangerous a deal is when it's at the finish line. So anything could happen at this point. Of course, Palmeiras want to sell in the region of 4.5 million. Plus bonuses and sell-on clause and stuff like that. And yeah, it would be an amazing attacking signing for the Galaxy, U22, of course. But again, I think as many of our colleagues in Miami have been reporting this, I would be very surprised if they aren't in pole position. But of course, anything is possible. So, Ananda, but chat, is this the kind of player the Galaxy should be looking for? I mean, the wings, the attack, should they be looking to strengthen there, or should be looking to kind of rearm maybe at the 10 somewhere else? Where do you think the Galaxy need reinforcements? Ananda, go ahead and let us know, man.
Right back. That's an easy one for me. Like, find another right back, because you only got Harbor there. I don't know if there's a VCFC Academy player that's ready to step in that position, but Harbor's our only outlet there. I mean, if you're going to go to the Brazilian market, sign another player like Lucas Calegari, right? That's who I'm thinking of, for example, as a prototype, as an archetype. So, yeah, right back for me. I think.
What could have happened had he not gotten injured, right?
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. So many revolving doors, sliding doors moments in this league. If Ricky didn't get injured, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who knows if Ricky hadn't gotten injured. We do have a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Nate the Great Shelley. He says, "Evening, gents. Love the show, the guests, and the chatters. I've got Chucky starting and getting a golazo, and then a smiley face with the SD.
Oof.
Interesting take. We'll be able to get our special guest Tony's take on your interesting take here in a little bit. We'll be kicking to him in just a moment, and of course, guys, to be in the know when we have these guests, please go ahead and like and subscribe. You'll go ahead and get those little notifications like, hey, they have this special guest. They're gonna tell you all about the Chucky Cheese Man. Yeah, so keep it locked, guys. But Chucky is one of the main storylines for this weekend. But another one is Sergi Roberto, who was presented to the media today for the first time in Los Angeles. He's been training with the team since Monday, and he spoke to us for the first time. The Galaxy have their new number 6, and a bunch of these quotes stand out. Shout out to Alex Ruiz from the Galactic Tribune, and shout out to Josh Gessman, Father Padrino from Corner of the Galaxy, for doing the work of getting these quotes down. On joining the Galaxy, he said that for me, Galaxy has always been the best club since I started following the league. Other teammates have gone to Miami, but the Galaxy is a much more historic club, and I'm happy to be a part of it. He says, on working with Greg, we did some video meetings as well, so I can see the way we prepare games and the way the coach wants us to play. I'm here for that, for us to play football, dominate matches, create many chances, and to be able to win every game. And just I get a guy that, in general, Ananda, from listening to him, I get a guy that knows the game very well, obviously very intelligent player, but he seems so calm. And even when you're watching this video of him, I don't know if it's because it was like slightly slowed down or whatever, but he looks like he's just a tick ahead, kind of like Greg's talked about Marco being. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, how much he plays, or if Greg throws a curveball and starts him. But it seems like he's going to be an extension of Greg on the field, right? I mean, he was talking about how there are different types of leaders. Like I asked, Sergi himself, like, if he was excited about the fact that, he was coming in and he was automatically a leader, and what that meant. And he said they had already had conversations with folks like Marco and Maya, and Greg spoke on that, and he said that there are different types of leaders. We already know that Marco's not a vocal leader. Well, Sergi is. He's that communicator. He's that person that's going to be very vocal. And Greg said that's the type of leader that they needed. So it seems like he's slowly but surely trying to flesh out his leadership pool. You've talked to yourself, Ananda, about that kind of stable leadership group that was kind of shepherding Amito through, right? With Gaston and with Martin Cáceres, right? The older heads that were there to kind of guide these players through, show them the way. And you're starting to see those experienced players kind of resurface again and be at the forefront. I mean, Kyogo has a bunch of experience as well. So hopefully it is what it is for Greg, and he has the player that puts it all together. I mean, he certainly seems to think so. He says that I think he raises our ceiling a great deal, and I think he raises just our capacity to dominate and control midfield to another level on leadership, just like I was talking about. He says what I've talked about with Sergi and what I've understood with everybody I've talked to around him is he's a big communicator and communicates with his hands and his voice, and he's telling people what to do, where to go and what to do. He talked already about the Sergi and Marco combination. It took just 15 minutes of a scrimmage yesterday to see he and Marco just kind of fall into a rhythm almost. When one moves, the other fills the space, and it's just super fluid because they're playing with their awareness and their mind and their vision. So chat, let us know. What do you think is the most important thing Sergio Roberto brings to this team? Yes, sir. Ananda?
No, I was going to say, that's going to be fun to watch. Imagine Ricky in that midfield too. Marco, Ricky, Sergi.
Well, I think for the moment it's Marco, right? But I think the moment Ricky is available, I think it's Ricky, right? And Marco sits. And then
that's you have fair. Yeah.
And then I'm imagining probably it's going to be Sergi, Hack, Ricky in a perfect world, right?
Or Lucas. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. So chat, let us know what is the most important thing Sergio Roberto brings to this team. But we are happy right now because we have a special guest that's going to bring something to this team, and that is a unique viewpoint on San Diego. So please welcome back to the show the co-founder of San Diego Football, the folks bringing you pretty much everything you need to know about San Diego soccer. Tony Sanchez.
Yep.
Tony, bye-bye. Welcome back.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? Thank you for having me once again. Appreciate you, and I'm excited, hopefully you guys are, to see an LA versus San Diego rivalry match. I don't know, man. I've been going through it, but how's it going, guys? How are you?
Thanks so much for joining, man. Bienvenidos. But yeah, rivalry match after 2 games. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Well, it needs time, right? It needs some time to sizzle. But who knows, man?
We'll actually talk about that. I have a couple questions that I want to ask Tony about that in a little bit.
There might be something brewing after this game for sure, with all the storylines heading into this match. Well, actually, the next 2, right? These are 2 massive games for both teams before the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I mean this is a kind of like a 6-pointer, right? But Tony, the last time we saw each other was before San Diego's debut at Desaparecido, big stranger over here, man. Like, come by, man. Like, get to see us. But they shocked the Galaxy a few days later, right? I mean, we were all here on this podcast saying, like, what kind of team is this team going to be? San Diego had never kicked a ball before, and then again, they came out and shocked the Galaxy and really set up a disastrous season for the Galaxy, but it set up a magical first season for San Diego. This year has been a little different. How would you grade San Diego's second season so far?
Well, whether you say it's context, whether you say it's maybe an excuse, but they've had either of those to kind of go back on. Yes, it is a second season, and they did get asked to come 3 weeks early by CONCACAF to play in Conca Champions against Pumas. And so everybody had a very short and truncated preseason, and 5 red cards. You can't do that consecutively ever to start your game. They did go to altitude, play against Toluca after they beat Toluca at home with 2 red cards and with 9 players. I don't care if you're watching under 5s matches. One team has 2 more players and you still win. That's impressive. But then they, get shown exactly what Toluca is at Toluca in altitude. And altitude's been a big factor, and they really haven't been able to get their bearings on them. And so I think I'd say maybe a C minus even at that, because there's so many points that San Diego have dropped in the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Had they not dropped as many points, they, I think, would be in 3rd place currently in the Western Conference, which they're clearly not. So there are issues, and I think they've been addressed. So right now, meeting this San Diego FC team with Galaxy, I don't think it's the most ideal for Galaxy, but we'll see if SDFC is able to maintain that and continue that momentum.
Yeah, I know they have a little momentum. We'll actually also talk about that here, because I want to talk about those particular games where it seems that they're kind of rounding back into form. But what's been harder about this year versus year one?
Well, I mean, again, you can have those factors of maybe availability. These players are being redlined, right? San Diego FC does not have a MLS Next team. It's just the kids who are out there, because they're genuinely kids that are being played, 18-year-olds who are doing incredibly well, teenagers, even a lot of U.S. young men's national team. But with that, you get players that can go 90 minutes against professionals in MLS. And so if you do that, they don't have the legs for that and or the experience. Also, can't have 5 red cards consecutively, 3 of those being your 2 starting center backs, and expect success. So there's been a lot of minutes spent by this team on that back foot. Again, context, excuses, however you may see, but the play style also depends a lot on it, because I think that's what gave San Diego FC success out the gate. LA Galaxy has definitely had a front row seat to that twice last season, where if they're able, San Diego, to really play to their strengths and play in their right to dream style, they're able to pretty much take anybody down. But it's also a very simple style. So if you're able to outcoach yourself outside of that, and now you understand what's coming in front of you, you can put them in different sticky situations. And it takes a while for us a rigid system to be dynamic in transition.
Tony, you talked about that right to dream play style.
I was going to ask the same thing.
Well, for Galaxy fans that haven't, I mean, we've only obviously encountered you guys twice in the history. Talk to us a little bit, maybe in 3rd grade English, like what that is, and if you're the opposition, what is the kryptonite to that style? You talked about like, kind of outmaneuvering, out-coaching. Talk through that a little bit to us.
Yeah, so some of the difficulties that they had last year were teams that, San Diego FC likes to have possession. They love to have the ball. It's almost, in soccer terms, it's like a total football 2.0 where everybody's a striker, but if you're the striker and you lose the ball, you're automatically defender number one and you have to press. And it's a very exhausting system. It's also a system that depends on the team aspect of play, which means there's not a lot of individuality there. Everybody's kind of going in one direction, pulling in one direction, and everybody knows if I have the ball, first thought is pass, open play, and try to essentially walk the ball inside of the net. And so that can be frustrating. And so, especially when you have a team that is really good at keeping the ball, but are they good at converting those chances? And when they're not converting those chances, the frustration builds. And on the back end, they play absolutely wild criminal ball to what everything we are learned to do. Never pass the ball through the middle and the back. If you're a goalkeeper, boot it out, but they do the complete opposite. Everybody's involved. Everybody has possession. The heat maps are insane for these players as well because they're absolutely everywhere, defending, attacking, but it takes a toll. And so by it taking a toll, you definitely need every single piece to be tip-top Magoo. But if one piece of the machine is not doing their best, then the whole system has a potential to crash down. With that, what's the kryptonite? Just kind of wait them out. Let's let them play. They want the ball? All right, keep it. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to shoot from the outside? We'll just load up that box and we'll just put legs in front of you, and you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to open up play. Okay, you can open up play. Then you're going to come through the inside, but then you're still going to try to pass it in and walk it through. And the successes were from teams like Minnesota, who didn't like the ball. I'll just go ahead and wait for you to commit the error, counterattack, then a set piece, goal. Vancouver did the best version of that in the Western Conference Final. And that essentially was how SDFC was eliminated in their first ever season, which was a great place to land. But also it kind of gave the entire playbook away on year one.
Yeah. Well, Rob, I guess if you ask Mike Ibarra, the kryptonite, it was Chucky Lozano. Now he's gone. So there you go.
Salva el chisme, salva el chisme.
We'll save the cheese. Yeah, we'll save the cheese. We'll save the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, unless Tony knows qué pasó, because I'm dying to know.
We still don't know.
Was her mama's involved?
Was chanclas involved, bro?
Hey, dog, like your tacos aren't good. Like, no, I want to know, like, what the hell happened, dog? But go ahead.
I mean, if we want to save it for a little, and this is the appetizer, and we'll get to it later if we want to get to it. Ustedes díganme, because I pretty much know the most of that actual situation and what happened. Now, can I reveal all of it? Unfortunately, I can't. But there are some things that are being misconstrued, and just the fact of the matter, what it is. But again, I'm a guest here. I like this.
Rob loves this.
Oh yeah, no, I love chisme, so we're going to get to this like immediately. So, Tony, a ver, comadre, dinos qué pasó.
Pues fíjate, o sea, el Chucky viene con los Tom Penn. So essentially, at the very beginning of San Diego FC, in the order of operations of hiring people, you have Tom Penn, former LAFC CEO. Great. He's like, this whole LAFC thing worked out. How did I do it? I got myself a Mexican superstar who sold jerseys and was actually playing well with Vela, and it turned out well. I think I could replicate that in San Diego. Kind of did the same formula. His version of that was Chucky Lozano. So it's Tom Penn, probably some people in HR because it's a business and it's whatever, and then Chucky Lozano. And after was then interim. No, it wasn't even interim. The assistant to the sporting director, Tyler Heaps, was hired. Tyler Heaps was then promoted from assistant by assisting no one and assisting himself, because then he became the sporting director. Then it was Mike Ibarras, the head coach. So in the order of operation, Mike Ibarras and Tyler Heaps, the two people who made the decision not to have Chucky Lozano as part of this team coming into this second season, were after. So the mentality and the Right to Dream network, again, Right to Dream is the academy system that is the baseline of San Diego FC. They have sister clubs over in FC Northland that play against teams like Copenhagen in the Danish league. There's academies in Denmark. And so with that, there's a philosophy, right? There's a certain style of play. As I mentioned, have the ball, pass it, be safe, but then be vertical, move quickly, and be ready to counterattack. And it's really pretty football whenever it goes perfectly. But much like Milan Iloski, if you're not playing the right to dream way, you're going against the grain, homie. And you might have scored 5 goals, Milan Iloski, but you didn't score them the SDFC way. You didn't score them the right to dream way. And so for the overall project, then, no me sirves. CHUCKY had 20 goal contributions. The situation, el chisme, the drama, essentially, wasn't just the one reported halftime in Houston. It's been a death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? You have CHUCKY Lozano, who historically has never been the locker room's favorite player, wherever he's gone. If you're a PSV Eindhoven fan, if you're a Napoli fan, you know exactly what a Mexican national team fan at that, you know who CHUCKY is. And so when you bring that type of personality in, he is a superstar. He goes against the grain sometimes of playing that style. And so he's able to be that gear shift, and he is the way, and he sees different plays against the right to dream way of playing sometimes, and that's why he's successful. You see patterns, and then this crazy wild card on the left wing who's doing his own thing, but still kind of integrating, but then he's being successful. So from that, CHUCKY Lozano is not necessarily getting along with some important people inside the locker rooms. Death by 1,000 paper cuts week in, week out, and then he gets injured because, again, much like he's potentially trouble in the locker room, he also has injuries that are lingering, and that's been something his entire career. He did get another injury. At that time, San Diego FC was kind of going into like, whoa, what are we doing? Playoffs? What? We're first potentially to end the season. We're going to need some help. In comes a 30-something-year-old Amal Pellegrino from San Jose Earthquakes from the basement, and he absolutely lights it up in that left wing position. Fast forward to that Houston game. Halftime, SDFC's losing 2-0. Hey, CHUCKY, whatever happened in that locker room happened. Sub in Amal Pellegrino immediately. Penalty call thanks to Amal Pellegrino, 2-1. A couple minutes later, 2-2. Amal Pellegrino saves that game with another goal contribution, and then Amal just goes on a tear in that same position. Why am I paying so much when I can get so much more from this guy that we found in San Jose's basement?
Y no hay bronca.
And so, yeah, y no hay bronca. Not only that, let's just say, again, I can't necessarily, one day when the book comes out.
Let us know when the book comes out.
I'll let you know, man. But even then, when I'm saying this is an academy, there are children who are also training at the Right to Dream facilities in Singing Hills in San Diego because this is an academy. Also, it's a charter school, just like it is everywhere else in the world. So if you're having a successful season where everybody's pulling one direction, and then you have a player who, as reported, did have a spat in that halftime, and that goes against the morals, the philosophies, the ethos of what you're trying to build in front of the future players, the children, essentially, in Luca Bombino, in Mano Dua, in all these very young players, are you going to want that around? Sea lo que sea. Sea lo que he dicho. ¿Sabes qué? I hate the way that you walk, Mikey Vara. ¿Sabes qué? You can't talk to me that way. How am I going to turn around to these young players and say, hey, he can do that because he's a superstar, because he's really good? But on the other side, it's like, well, I can't. If we're building a philosophy and a foundation, we can't have that. And it's better for us to not have it and include it and have them use our facilities as a gym and not play in our team than to be in our team and potentially influence the wrong way that we want him to influence these kids coming up.
Yeah, you gotta set a standard. Well, if that's your standard, you got to take a stand early, and that's the line in the sand you got to draw, right? I mean, if that's the culture you're trying to build. So it's funny, and that's why it's amazing that you're on. Thank you so much, because we hadn't really approached it from that way, and it's interesting that we're approaching it not from the player did this or the player did that, but we're approaching it from a philosophy standpoint and an overall look at this team of who San Diego is, who their identity is, right? because you're very right. If you're trying to build that kind of culture, if you're trying to set the foundation for what will be the future of your team, you can't allow it, right? So and you're right. It could be just as simple as like, man, Mikey Virus, like I I play better I play better at Uno than you do, dog. Like if Mikey Virus is like, yo, blood, that's crossing the line, then that's crossing the line, man, because it is el mero, right? So he has to put the foot down and say like, no, it's not allowed.
Well,
But like, yeah, Nanda?
I was going to ask then. So a follow up to that, then, Tony. So then, were you surprised when you saw the reaction, the vitriol online from Galaxy fans, based off of what you know, obviously, because you have a little bit more of an inside track, and the fact that I think the biggest gripe was it felt like sloppy seconds, right? That was the biggest gripe. So were you surprised?
By the reaction, I mean, no, because there's not a lot of context, right? Like if you bring this context
Fair.
into it, like it kind of makes sense as far as like why don't they want him there? Like what could have possibly happened, right? Like even fans here locally, they're like, I paid my season ticket because I thought I was going to see CHUCKY Lozano. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's not happening, right? And there's fans who are flying planes over the stadium with fire mic,
Yeah.
fire tire, and you know what? The culture needs this. Like the soccer culture needs to have everybody have their right or wrong opinions about it. But then for Galaxy fans, I just kind of felt like you guys were just caught in the middle. Like nobody asked for this. Like we didn't ask for this, but sure. And so far, it really hasn't paid dividends. But there's a chance where he's going to get into his groove because again, he hasn't been playing for 8 months.
Yeah.
The last time for exit interviews when the first season ended, all the players go speak with Mikey Varas and Tyler Heaps, and they tell him, "Hey, how's it going? This is how your season was. These are our plans for you moving forward. See you next season. Enjoy your break." And then they came over and they speak to the media. When CHUCKY came out, he came out after his meeting and hey, I'm CHUCKY Lozano. I'm ready. I'm a San Diego FC player. I learned my lesson from being benched because of these behavior situations or whatever it may be. And I'm gonna be 100% committed. I'll see you guys next season. Enter first media availability from this year. Tyler Heaps comes before everybody. He's like, yeah, guys, CHUCKY's not part of our sporting plan. Meanwhile, CHUCKY is being the superhero that goes to Northgate, taking pictures with all the la cultura, la gente. Mira, I'm such a good person. Hey guys, it's just me training. Like, whoa, what is this? I'm still in San Diego, and then you just start to see that money start to trickle in. Of like, wait, he's still getting paid. He's just using this as a gym membership, and we're paying him. And there was just no solution for it because nobody wanted to pay that. And enter Galaxy, and you're like, hey, there's a chance here, right? And if you're a San Diego fan, you're like, okay, you just gave your best player, in a sense, to your direct rival, and you're still paying him, and he's the loan. And for you guys, just like, sure, like we yes, it's not a DP.
Can't get any worse. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's basically like that's very accurate. Like, okay, I guess like vamos. But I mean, it's funny, man, because like how time changes things, right? Because CHUCKY was, like you mentioned, San Diego's inaugural designated player. I mean, captivó la gente. I mean, we were here with nuestra colega Katia Casorena from ESPN the other day, and she's ella es mexicana también, and she said that she was interviewing a lot of Mexicans, and they're still very much in love with them, and they're very hopeful to see him, and they wish him the best. You've covered this whole CHUCKY situation closely, man. What is Saturday gonna feel like when CHUCKY goes back to Snapdragon, but he's wearing a Galaxy shirt? I mean,
Katy
are
Perry
those
settings.
exactly.
Fireworks, Papa.
Are those San Diego fans that supported him and flew that plane and said, bring him back, or are they still going to support him? What is that going to be like? What's the atmosphere going to be like?
Well, it's going to be a good time out there because at the end of the day, this is another chance for San Diego to kind of, again, shake that sporting little brother thing off because, okay, we mentioned it, not a rivalry, but guess what? Objectively, Los Angeles has never beat San Diego at soccer in the
all day.
It's true.
It's facts.
Not only
Facts.
that, last season, LA Galaxy, first game, hey guys, our awesome trophies here. And then boom, 2-0 by the inaugural team in San Diego.
It was terrible.
just I've been saying like it's like having a 5-star Michelin meal, and then at the end you get the dessert, and it's just absolutely disgusting. Just like ugh, like it just ruins it. But then again, like that was one of Chucky Lozano's best performances of the year. That first game, second game at home, another good performance. Who gets the game winner? Lozano. And my favorite play for Lozano in his tenure here was actually in that game where he runs down Gabriel Peck on a counter. He just puts his head down and just gets a great sliding tackle dispossession and comes back on the other side. Like, this is the type of player that you have in Chucky Lozano. Is he capable of doing this? Yes. Does he have the legs for it? Hopefully, if you're LA Galaxy. And, you know, you're still kind of waiting to see those things. But at the end of the day, I think we've seen sports enough and to know that if you give an athlete just a reason, they're typically going to try to rise it up to the occasion. The fans, look, there's contingencies of fans that want him back and want to fire Mikey and Tyler, but sure. But the majority, I would hope, I'm personally not a San Diego FC fan, but I would hope that San Diegans would not cheer for an LA player in San Diego. Like, that's just you can't. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Adrian Gonzalez comes back to play at Petco Park when he was a Dodger. Nah, ¿sabes qué? Me vale madre.
Yeah, you're not wearing the colors, right? No, I get the spirit, right? But overall, you would say like the relationship between Chucky and San Diego supporters is positive.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Because there is a lot of that. You know, the last goal that I celebrated, man, like with my full heart, was that goal 2018 against Germany. Like, he's just gonna always bring a smile and just have that place in our hearts for that. And I think that supersedes anything that he may do in a San Diego jersey. Because guess what? He's had success in a Pachuca jersey. He's had success in a Napoli jersey. He's had success in a PSV jersey. Like, he's had his success in a Mexican national team jersey, and I think that supersedes anything. And so I hope just for the game, yeah, boo, but you know what? Respect. Like, like you're that guy, but while we're playing, you know, it's going to be a rivalry, and hopefully it's going to be very, very good. And Frontera, the supporter group, will definitely be, you know, there and supporting very strongly.
I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, San Diego went into BMO and beat LAFC 1-0 with a last minute Dryer's goal, right? Like you said, the Galaxy has never beat San Diego. Who do San Diegans like beating more, the Galaxy or LAFC?
The Tom Penn on a pole match against LAFC is definitely one that's been good. I think they've enjoyed beating them at home twice now. The first time it was Sonny's first home game, so they spoiled. Honors Dryer said after, yes, it was fun to come and kill the party. And he did exactly that. LA Galaxy, you know, it's kind of that, I think, that blue bloodness of like, this is a historic team within the league. They're the team that's been there. It has pedigree, so if you beat them, like, it's always special. And I think, you know, if this is going to be the tenor with Chucky Lozano these next two games, historically, right? Like, this may be a grudge match between Chucky and San Diego, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is has the makings of some serious cinema here. If Chucky scores, do you think he celebrates?
Yeah, he runs over and does the Riquelme to Mikey Varas.
Probably. Yep.
Oh,
100.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, does his little. He's been doing this like little like step, like move like this in MLS. I think it's for his kid, and you know, his family's very much here. Like, I don't know if his family really entirely realizes, like, oh, it's a different place, LA, San Diego. You know, it's not like Napoli. Like,
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, he's Tony's still with the family. I mean, everywhere that we've had Chucky, he's had a family. So, but I mean, there, like I said, this one kind of dominates the storyline, right? Is there a danger that he just tries too hard, you know, and it just kind of becomes anticlimactic?
Sure. I mean, he can pull up and point at his hamstring, and then that's it. And he's going to be out for another couple weeks, and definitely overreach in that sense. But if I'm Chucky Lozano, am I really going to overreach and embarrass myself and prove everybody on that team who decided not to have me back right? Is that worth it? Is that worth it? Or, let's see if I can extend myself as much as possible, play well, and contribute to the team. Maybe he doesn't get a goal. Maybe he gets an assist, but he's still able to contribute more. But again, if I see him going 1,000 miles an hour, like, great. I love that. Like, I love chaos. So bring it on. Sure.
Acelerado.
Yeah.
Va a salir encendido. Hey, so right before we hit this preview here, man, I mean, obviously, like you said, there was the situation was kind of like death by 1,000 cuts, and there was reportedly not just problems with Mikey Vadas, but with a couple of teammates as well. So, who, in your mind, on San Diego is going to be most motivated to make sure Chucky's homecoming is spoiled? Will be miserable.
I would think just that midfield, Yepes Verskov, like, again, just kind of like not even on a malice type of way, but like on a fundamentally footballistic style, like footballistic, even a word.
You made it a word.
Yeah, sounded good.
It is in Spanish. We know that.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way that Yepes Verskov is the way that Right to Dream is supposed to be. Like him, Marcus and Varsin up top. That's the spine of, like, this is how this style of play is supposed to be. If you go against the grain, if you don't fall in line to this, then you're not necessarily helping us in that bigger picture.
They're like Cyclops, basically.
Yes.
and Chucky is like Wolverine.
Yes, and just refuses to call him Wolverine. They just call him Logan, like, to his face, like, no. There's angst there, and Mikey Vadas is somehow Jean Grey in that. I mean, we can have that podcast, guys. Like, we can go into it.
That's another hour, Tony. We only have you for a little bit.
But that's wonderful. I hope that whatever happens, you're in the press conference with Mikey Vadas, and you're like, "What's up, Jean Grey?"
I love that. At this point, it's just me sometimes, so might as well. Let's fill up some time with that.
All right, let's do it. Oh, wow. Great. Well, it's like I said, you guys are the folk to watch when it comes to San Diego. So that does not surprise me that you are the lone and faithful soldier out there, man. But as we get into this preview here, we did mention the Galaxy has never beaten San Diego. It is not only 2 losses, but 2 losses that were ugly. I said calamitous. I asked Greg about these kind of fall apart moments. He kind of pushed back and said that he didn't believe that they were fall apart moments. The individual plays kind of.
Did you catch the fade again, Rob? Did you caught the fade again, man?
Again, consistently catching the fade from Greg. No, he was nice. He just kind of smirked.
Yeah, fair.
And left. But like I said, this is the third meeting between the two teams. Of course, Tony spoke on that 2-0 loss in the opener, 2025. That kind of set the tone. Then there was that 2-1 win for San Diego that followed at Snapdragon. Of course, Diego Fagundes opens the scoring there, and Chucky Lozano scores the stoppage time match-winning goal for San Diego. As you know, the Galaxy look to win for the first time in this one. It'll be kind of funny that the Galaxy will have the attacking showpiece player that San Diego kind of rolled out on, but this will be the first time that Chucky plays against his former team. So it's gonna be gangbusters here, Nanda. Yes, Ananda, you wanted to jump in on something?
No, well, first, a couple supers that we got to shout out. So Scott earlier in the show,
hell yeah,
he gave us a gold coin of 10 jewels. I love this game. This is like what's that phone game with the jewels? Yeah, this is fun. 100 joules, which is a Sunday, Rob. So there you go. You get your frosty. And Mr. Cool Will also with the $5 super. Thank you, good sir. He says to Tony. So Tony, this is for you. Our SDFC focusing on a new Galaxy signee, Sergio Roberto, and Team Tactics Plus for us. Papa, which SDFC players are focusing on to defend? We will get to the Danger Men a little bit later. So maybe if you want to shelve it. But Tony?
Yeah, I think, you ask Mikey Varas and the company any given day, they're just going to say, we're going to play our way, regardless of who's in front of us, and we're going to execute. And if we execute, we're going to score goals. And if we score goals, we're going to win. And that's essentially the mantra that just keeps playing on there. So is there any specific...
Repeat and repeat.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the frustration sometimes of that style of play, where they're going to lose the same way that they're going to win. And it's frustrating when they lose and they don't adapt. Again, they're not dynamic because, again, they're still a relatively new team and trying to find their way in this style. Last year, they stayed in this stagnant style. They were disciplined and it worked. Now you're telling me that if I'm disciplined, it's not going to work. I need to find layers. I need to find new players. That's what becomes a little bit more interesting, and seeing the coaching aspect and just developing this team as a whole. But for any specific, like, circle this person, I don't think that's even going to happen. We asked Mikey Varas earlier today at training, like, even CHUCKY, and he's like, of course he's going to say no se llevan, but
right,
like, he's just another player. Like,
he was like, who do I know that person?
Oh no, they call it. It's just straight up Irving. Irvin, we love that Irvin's playing football again, and love that.
Ni Irving, no, it's like Irving. I was like,
Irving.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, yes, Irving is playing football again, and Galaxy fans are hoping that he balls out, because they aren't looking so hot in the standings right now. They're in 12th place after 22 matches, 26 points, 1.18 points per game, 6-8-8 record, 27 goals for, 32 goals against for a -5 goal differential. Despite their lackluster play, always shooting themselves in the foot, being probably not even the best version of themselves. They're still only 2 points outside of the playoff position, guys. Guneros, it's incredible. Maybe San Raquino is out there praying for us all, but yes, just 2 points outside of the playoff positions. San Diego, their rival, their opponent on Saturday, after 21 matches, they're on 11th place, 27 points, 1.29 points per game, a 7-8-6 record, 37 goals for and 32 goals against, a +5 goal differential, and they are just 1 point back from the playoff line. That last match was a 3-0 home win over Colorado. They've won 4 of their last 5, and the Galaxy have 1 loss in their last 5, but only 6 points gained out of a possible 15. So that leads us to a big question here. Obviously, the math doesn't dictate that this is a must-win game, but chat, let us know what you think. Is this a must-win for both teams? Tony, this is a 6-pointer. I mean, San Diego's in 11th, Galaxy's in 12th. Season isn't getting any longer, right? Only 11 games left after this one. So, is it a must-win?
I would say so, just because this is the part of the season where you're starting to see where the oil and the water starts to separate, where some of the teams that are supposed to be winning aren't. And you start to see a free fall in the sorts. You look at San Jose and how they started the season, the only team in California to ever beat San Diego FC, actually, and just whoop them, actually. And so it's those times where you start to see the matchups and you're like, okay, well, this team should beat this team, but are they really in form? Who's better? Who's peaking at the right time? For San Diego FC right now, things are lining up. They have a new DP and Elias Ashuri, and he's lighting it up. His first couple of minutes against Portland, he broke a dude, like legitimately, guy ACL done for the season. And it's this like next level thinking where they need some game changers to change the dynamic of their rigid style of playing. Pirani coming from DC United, he adds another layer in that center attacking position. But they have to win in order to start separating themselves. And with these two teams right there, like, you can't jockey for position and expect to have that be sustainable in through the playoffs. Like you just have to start winning for both teams, which is why. Well, I don't know. If, well, we'll see what the predictions are you guys as well. But yeah, it has to be a must win. No one's gonna be happy if they lose. If
Yeah,
nobody's gonna be happy if they don't win. I don't think but either team's gonna be great. We tied after this
yeah,
match, especially with all the drama around it.
yeah. I agree with that. I think this is for sure a must win for San Diego. They're the home team, and again, home points are so critical in this league. I think for the Galaxy, it's a definitely a must not lose. Now, again, road points are really hard in this league. I know it's only a short trip down the I-5 for the Galaxy, but again, road points are huge. But I think for momentum, Papa, I think for the psyche, the morale for the Galaxy, because we haven't built any momentum this season. You see that how many drop points? Like only 6 points in the last five. So many, too many draws. Too many drop points, especially from losing positions. We just saw that last game. I think this is pretty close to a must win, but 120% must not lose for the Galaxy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is especially because they, including this match, they only have the 12 matches that remain. 7 of them are against teams directly above them, as well as
Yep.
a
6
visit
pointers.
from 6 pointers, right? And then we also have the return of Diego Fagundes. There on 9-6. Yep. Shout out Dieguito. So these are important matches, right? Because if they win this one, they set themselves up again the platform to go ahead and springboard into the playoff positions, right? But they have a couple of people out already. They go into this one not limping as bad as they were, but they do have a couple of people out. Winder, it is a official. He is going to be out for a few weeks. 6-week recovery timetable. Greg said that he'll start. We'll see over the next 2 or 3 weeks how he starts to recover. He's already been in recovery for about 2 weeks. Sergio Roberto, like I said, he was presented to the media today. We spoke to him. He's going to be available this weekend. How much he plays, no one knows. We know that João Klaus is closer, but he won't be ready for Saturday. He won't be ready for this week, says Greg, but he's getting closer. Marco Reus is now back, of course, after the birth of his child, and he's going to be back with the team more permanently, as Josh joked with Greg. And so, yes, that'll be the Galaxy kind of walking wounded for this one, or players out. And, of course, the players that got the red cards, JT Marcinkowski and Lukita Sanabria, who are the red carded players, are going to be missing this one. Tony, do you have any updates on who San Diego might be missing for this one?
Yeah, so it's going to be Marcus Invarson, who is the number 9 striker. Again, part of that spine of the Right to Dream. He's actually been able to play really well. He's slowed down a little bit, but he did pick something up. He came in as a substitute against Colorado's in the 3-0 effort. He got an assist, but a couple minutes later, he just came up, just limping a little bit, and he had to be subbed off. He's probably not going to be available, but other than that, it seems like everybody is on that healthy pathway, especially just anybody who's going to have any impact on this matchup is and should be ready to go, especially as they had, a whole week to prepare for this matchup as well.
What do you think then, knowing that Mikey Vargas has pretty much everyone available, or anyone of consequence anyway? What do you think that's going to do to the starting 11? Who can you see starting against LA?
So I see that you pulled the graphic up. I'm just kind of looking up and down. I think that's going to be definitely what it's going to look like. Luca Bombino on the left side, center backs, Ian Murphy coming from Colorado, adding that extra physicality along with Mano Dua, who's been rumored to go over to Europe already. He's been a superstar here, converted center defensive mid into center back. He's just phenomenal within the system. Oscar Verhoeven, who came over from San Jose, he's actually played very well to the potential that he's supposed to be. Godoy is a veteran who understands these types of matches. You have Yepe right there. Gabriel Pirani, the Brazilian, who has that extra little flair, little samba into the match. Right. Elias Ashuri on the left wing is very well placed there, and we haven't seen the best of him, but you could just tell that football IQ is there. He knows what he's going to do 5 steps ahead of him receiving the ball, and you just see that way that he sees the gameplay, and it's very well done. Oni Valakari is just just the everyman. Like he's everywhere. He can play center mid, center attacking mid. The 9, he got himself a goal as well. And then the reigning defending MVP of MLS, not named Lionel Messi of last year, Connor Schneider, who's going to be out there, and he has had
What a player.
9 goal contributions against Los Angeles teams in 6 games. He doesn't like
Jesus. Yeah, like you said, he likes to ruin the party for the LA teams for sure. Ananda, what are you seeing out of the Galaxy starting lineup? Who could be facing San Diego for the right to get the first Galaxy win?
Well, let's get to our predicted then, and I hope this is your predicted too, Papa, because I put yours on there. But this is the ideal 11 for me. And so I'll just read it out for the audio listeners. So that's Novak Mitrovic by default, Julian Aure, Yoshida, Jakub Glesnes, and Harbor Miller back for a midfield pivot of Sergi Roberto, who gets his debut start with Justin Hawk. And then a front 4 of Kyogo, CHUCKY, Marco Royce at the 10, and JP. I mean, I think this is the team kind of picked itself based off of suspensions, injuries, etc. I'm just hoping Sergi is good enough to start. Maybe he'll get like a run out of 60. Hopefully, maybe he's good enough to do 60. Hopefully, we'll see. But the Galaxy's got to start with this team, in my opinion, to have the best chance. This is a good-looking team on paper, by the way, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. This is like the only one that
super
I'm
balanced.
worried. Yeah, it is. I mean, hack can be your destroyer. Sergi's your metronome, but no, I mean that's the only kind of doubt for me is whether he starts. I know he'll see action, but and I called for him to start, but that's kind of my my wonder there. Will he actually? I could see a world where Greg, because we know he's risk adverse, could start with Isaiah Parente, just to make sure that Tony's been talking about it, like the philosophy, playing within the system. That's what you get with Isaiah Parente, right? So if you start with Isaiah Parente, you know what you're getting. You're getting a player that's going to, play in your system and for the most part be reliable. Only thing is that Isaiah Parente must have nightmares about the last time he was in San Diego. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe that might be a good way for the young man to exercise his demons with that. But that's my kind of call out for that one. Will we actually see Sergio Roberto in the starting lineup? Ananda, do you have any key stats that you want to go ahead and bring up about San Diego?
Yeah, I think Tony did a great job of explaining all this in terms of, talking through the play style and everything. But guys, expect the Galaxy not to have too much of the ball, especially away from home. San Diego FC's #1 possession team in the league. Obviously, the Galaxy, they're taking a page. They do what the Galaxy want to do, but a heck of a lot better. Possessions won, final third per match. They win the ball high, pretty up the pitch. 5th in the league there, 5.1. And an obscure stat, an interesting one. Look, with all the emotion coming into this game, this might be something to watch for. But both teams tied for most in the league with red cards. I mean, look, you could see this happen. Like, you could see a rush of blood to the head in certain moments. You could see a breakaway and a goalkeeper coming out, like we saw JT Marcinkowski in the last match. You could see those things happen. This is a highly emotional, like, there's a lot of storylines, as we talked about heading to this game, and you could see players lose their heads easily in this match.
Yeah, it has the potential to be we already know it's going to be emotional. There's a lot of stuff happening there, right? And so it could be one of those things where, and I asked Greg about this, I mean, is there any added motivation because of what happened last year? I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, no one is under any illusions about the fact that the Galaxy players are going to want to come out and win this match. I mean, we said it a couple of times over the last year, Ananda. It was a definite knock on their pride that they got taken out twice. First when they were presenting their trophy, and then second in San Diego when they, I said, kind of fell apart. Again, Greg kind of pushed back on that. But that's what it was.
If I'm Greg, that's bulletin board material for me for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be one of the ones that they're going to circle, right? But I mean, with the danger men here for San Diego, I mean, they have to, just stay calm and play within themselves. I don't know if that makes any sense, guys, but not let the occasion get away from them. I mean, especially because of the types of players that San Diego have. I mean, you've already talked about it, Tony. I mean, Achudi has been great. Andres Dreyer is no joke still. But for you, who's the X factor for San Diego? I mean, who's got to be the player to have a game for them to be successful?
To be completely honest, I'm looking at one Luca Bombino on the left back, and it might not be a
Yeah.
popular selection, but Luca Bombino is going to have himself a tough task to go and be able to defend, but not only that, be able to come back and attack on the other side. And he's one of these players, just like Manodua, who has a great ceiling, and he probably won't be in MLS much longer. He's going to be transferred out into Europe more than likely, and more than likely the left back for the 2030 World Cup for the U.S. men's national team if everything goes correctly. Just that's the level that he has in that spot because he's able to create, he's able to defend, and go up and down and influence a match. And he's one of these players where if he's present, you notice him, and if he's not and you don't notice him, he's still doing a great job. From there, I would also just throw in just Pirani. Just he has 2 goals in the last 2 games. Just coming in and just feeling himself and shooting. That's the one thing. He's shooting from inside, outside the box, and getting himself some results. So kind of addressing those things, and those are the 2 players because everybody else kind of fits into that system outside of obviously just Dreyer and Ashuri and the X factors that they could potentially have themselves. But just keep an eye out for the Brazilian and then the Italian heritage Luca Bombino on the left back.
Bombino.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because in that first match, I wasn't, of course, there was the stars that they had their moments, but really the guy that killed the Galaxy in that first match in Los Angeles was Anibal Godoy. So I'm going to be watching him very, very closely. It'll be fun to see how Sergio Roberto and Godoy kind of stack up against each other or what they do for their teams. Guys, we are getting towards the end of this show. So, Cuneros, you know what's about to happen. Start dropping in your predictions in the chat.
Tony's looking around like, wait, what's going to happen? What's going to
happen? So, guys, start dropping in your predictions of what you think is going to happen this weekend, who you think is going to take all 3 points in this
Piñata
match.
time?
Piñata time. Oh, I want to play Piñata. If you think the Galaxy are going to get 3, if you think San Diego's going to get 3, let us know. If you think it's going to be tie, live dangerously. Pick one. But anyway, we will get there. Let us know who you think is going to win, and we will tell you our predictions here in one moment. But before we get to that, you guys know how we do. Tony, fill in the blank here. For San Diego to win this match against the Galaxy, they have to ...
They have to ride the momentum. They've been playing really well, and they've been playing up to their potential, and they just have to continue that and not look back to those mistakes. I know that's a very long sentence, and it keeps going because it's a run-on sentence, and there's no period at the end, but here's a period. They just need to be consistent and ride the momentum.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it a couple of times. I mean, they have won 2 out of the last 3 good performances against Colorado and LAFC. It could be the moment where, like you've mentioned a couple of times, they are kind of rounding into form, and it's coming at the business end of the season. Anandita, same question, but the opposite. For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ...
I have 2 answers. Is that allowed on this show? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna do it anyways.
We set the rules, blood. Like, who's policing us?
Fair. A chat is policing us, like always. But because one leads to the other, which is the Galaxy. They need a 90-minute performance, and within that, they need to score first and not give up a goal a minute later. Because remember, that was the blueprint. This is exactly what happened in the last game against San Diego. Rob, the Galaxy, I thought, played a wonderful. I can't remember if it was the first 30 or 40. I can't remember the exact sort of minute marker. But the Galaxy played really well to start that game, and they got a goal as a result of it. They need to do that, but they can't give up a goal. That was such a huge momentum breaker before the end of the first half, and it gave San Diego the kick up the backside. It gave Mike Ibarras the ammunition probably for a halftime speech that ended up in a ridiculous Emmy Garces blunder, probably one of the most high-profile ones we've seen in the last 18 months from him. So they got to do that, right? I think the Galaxy have to score. I think the Galaxy have to score first in this game, in my opinion, to get to be on the road to 3 points. If not, you're starting on the back foot, and you're now looking at a 1-point ceiling instead of a 3-point ceiling.
You know, it's funny because we have been talking about all the emotions in this one, and I even asked Tony, like, do you think the emotions might get ahead of El Chucky? Do you think he'll be able to like keep it under control? And it's good that you did two fill in the blank answers, because I have two as well, but one is for Chucky and one is for the Galaxy team. Yeah, well, since we're allowing
great minds think alike. I get it.
And ours too. Since we're allowing things here, one is for Chucky and one is for the entire team. For Chucky, be able to harness those emotions, young Jedi, and you use the Force.
Young Logan.
Yes, exactly. Young Logan, harness the Force. So now I'm just in a bunch of different franchises. Anyway, for the Galaxy, it's exactly the opposite. I've talked about it a couple times, and it is fitting that it was Mambo Day this week, because you got to lean into that villain role, right? Because that's who you are when you go in San Diego. You are the villain. Teams in the Bay, teams from San Diego, they love their BLA chant. It is it sustains them, and so go in there and embrace that shit, man. Like, be the villain, lean into it, run through their chest, be Kobe running through Pal's chest, and lean into it. Be the villain. Use that emotion. Use that like rivalry. Use that locker board material. But like Ananda said, keep it controlled. But yes, use all that and go in and be the villain.
I was gonna say fans in the stand keeps it controlled, but yes, the team
absolutely.
Run through a brick wall.
the team, the fans need to keep it in check.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my fill in the blank here. Ananda, I know that you and Dr. Rakino were the other day taking a woodshed class, which was really interesting. Later, you guys are going to have to show me what you
Where
guys
is he taking this, guys? Where is he taking this?
Anyway, in the woodshed class, you guys were talking about the probabilities for this match. So why don't you go ahead and share with us?
So San Diego, of course, is the home team, 51% at the moment. This was as of a couple hours ago. I took this from Opta. Galaxy is the road team, 26%. So, and then, of course, a tie somewhere in between like 20, 25%, something like that. A couple of the pre-match insights heading into this match. The Galaxy have only won just one of their last 5 MLS away games. Again, road points have not come easy for this team. And like I said, this is why I said the Galaxy have to score first for that 3-point ceiling. We talked about Ingvartsen. That's a huge miss, Tony, because that's a breaking news for us, because the insight was he scored in 55% of MLS home games this season for San Diego. So that's a pretty big miss, I think, for your team.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, almost like a fortune cookie now, where it's a fact. Like, yeah, he did score 55% of those games, but it's nothing's gonna come of it. But and even then he had slowed down a little bit, and I think now it's giving a chance to everybody behind him to give a different look and to play uncomfortably and break that mold and kind of live dangerously, like you said earlier.
Do we have any math on how likely we are to get a red card in this match?
Oh, I don't know. I gotta check the bookies for that one. Man.
Yeah, quiero violencia. I hope everybody is safe. I hope there's no injuries.
Yes.
quiero sangre, like quiero like,
He wants to see the bronca on the field, bro. He wants to, okay, well let's hope
Nice
you know,
chanclas on
all
the field, bro.
the chanclas, man. All the mamas come out. Oh man, a Mikey Virus and
And
Chucky
his
grudge match in like midfield, that would be all time. But anyway, it is time. He has a chancla. No, mama, no. So it is time. We have come to predictions, and as usual, we let our wonderful chat Cuneros go first, and then we will go ahead and go with our guest. So, Ananda, what do we have from chat? We have Nate the Great Shelley with the 2-1 Galaxy win. Okay, let's go. Cool Will 20 says, mine is a 2-2 draw. All right. E Super is a 3-2 Galaxy. 3-1 Chucky and Kill goal by Joe 13 Cool. Tranquilito 17. What's up, Tranquilito Galaxy 2-1. Nightmare 2-2 with 2 red cards per team and this madre after the game. I mean, I think that's Tony's best case scenario right there. ES Banjike 2-1 SDFC, 1 from Machuri and 1 from Pirani. Very possibly could be. Pessimist Pottermus says draw. Okay, let's go for a draw.
Well, it looks like there will be goals in this game. This will not be a stalemate, a 0-0 complete board fest. There will be goals in this game, right? Looks like there's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, there are going to be some fun times here. Definitely something for us to go ahead and write about and talk about come Monday here, guys. And then speaking of that, you guys know what it is. We will be back with you guys on Monday. Of course, you guys will know that if you like and subscribe to the show. You guys will know when we have wonderful guests like Tony, like our colega Katya, who was on the other day, and wonderful guests like Will Coons and Tommy Bogert and Sophie Nicolau. When you subscribe to the show, go ahead and like and subscribe. Por favor, we would love you forever.
The more you know.
Obligatory, shameless posting here about all the like subscribing stuff. Over. Go ahead. So, Tony, we have now come to the good part, the prediction.
I've been saying, so I'll stay consistent with what I've been saying, is that yes, I want goals, I want entertainment, I want to be sports entertained for the amount of money that these tickets cost and the amount of money that parking costs. Like, I hope people get the bang for their buck at least.
Yeah.
And 2-2 is my prediction, with goals, with a lot of physicality, and this is gonna set up the go home game next time at LA Galaxy, where this can all be resolved. There can be a victor there, and I think that's going to be a more important match in terms of just the positioning and who wins that game. But if this game ends at 2-2 and it's a great game, physicality, and both teams are kind of looking eye to eye and say, okay, great, I think we did our best effort today, see you next time. That's going to be an interesting game as well. But I think 2-2 will be the way this one ends.
And then Mikey Varas and Chucky hug at midfield.
I mean, tampoco milagros, like,
yeah, well, a boy can dream, right? Anandita, since I went first last time, te toca.
God, see what he does to me every time, chat. This is it needs to be 3 points for the Galaxy, but I just don't see it. I think this is going to be a high scoring draw. I'm just gonna put my neck out on the line. 3-3. I think there are gonna be. I think it's just gonna be back and. I think it's gonna be back and forth because I think what's gonna happen. This is a battle of attrition. I mean, San Diego is gonna try to control the possession. They're gonna try to pass it to death around the Galaxy. But I think the Galaxy have something to offer on the counter. If you put Marco Royce and Sergio Roberto in the right, ball winning positions, they can spring fast passes forward to guys like Joseph Paintil. I mean, 2 speedsters, right? We saw, how Anders Dreyer and Chucky Lozano hurt the Galaxy in those key moments over the last couple of games. I mean, the Galaxy have something to offer. Let's not forget about Kyogo. Like, he's not slow either, right? He's no spring chicken, but he's not slow either. You've got pieces now on the counter. And most importantly, Papa, you have guys to thread the needle and get those players in the right positions. We didn't necessarily have that the last couple of games with Marco Royce out, but now you got add Sergi in there. High scoring draw. But I think the Galaxy will make mistakes on their end.
Hey, we have brother Lex in the chat giving us some
A
love
treat.
with un pequeño treatcito. 5 chills. Mira, me voy a portar mal con un pequeño treat. 67 joules. Thank you, Big Lex. And Lex is throwing out a 3-1 Galaxy. You know, Ananda, I was sitting here the entire time thinking after Tony said, 2-2, I was like, man, I kind of feel like it's going to be a tie. I kind of feel like it could probably be even higher scoring than that. And I was thinking 3-3. And then I was like, no, let's choose violence. Let's choose a CHUCKY brace, and he gets a game winner in the 90th minute. Y le viene a hacer el Riquelme a Mikey Varas. Or you should have been like, you should have signed me, dog. You should have signed me, right? So, I think that's my head and my heart pick. I think
Dale. I like it.
I think I gotta go. I think I gotta go with it. I'm choosing violence, and as like I said, as much as I'm asking the team to lean into the villain thing, I'm doing the same thing, man. They got to go out there and just be the villain. I'm gonna be the villain right now and say CHUCKY's getting the brace. He goes and celebrates in Mikey Varas' face. Ooh, can we make that the chant for the day?
Well, let's see. Well, we can make it a chant depending on things go. And Monday is gonna be we'll see what the consequences of that. If your proclamation will be on Monday, Papa.
Yes, because it will be either Sadful Hours or a celebration here, but either way, we'll be here with you guys. We'll tell you all about that here in a moment. But before we do, we want to say thank you to our special guest of the evening. And Tony, before you go, please go ahead and let us know where everyone can find you, where everyone can find your guys' work. Thank you for keeping us informed here on San Diego. Y ojalá nos vemos el sábado.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll be there. You can check everything that we do over at sandiego.futbol. The big ask for anybody to ask anybody from LA to log on to San Diego Football. But if you do and you haven't found yourself there, come on, join the party. We started this to get to the World Cup and get credentials. We did it. We had the time of our lives. Now we're going to San Diego.futbol 2.0 and see where that
get it.
So yeah, thank you for all the support and thank you for the invite, man. I really apprate it.
Yeah, man.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for being here, man. We really, really appreciate it. And like I said, it was great getting a different viewpoint because, rising above el chisme, rising above the hearsay and misconceptions and everything like that. It was really great to get a philosophical viewpoint from why San Diego could have reacted the way they reacted. So thank you, Tony. Nos vemos pronto. We'll see you on Saturday, bro.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, man. Bye. Cuneros, you heard it here first. Go ahead and hit up Tony and San Diego Football for more info. If you want to go ahead and keep your eye, on the local rivals here for the Galaxy. But Ananda, as we wind down here, anything that you're going to be looking forward to or watching for specifically in this match?
I'm just really I think Joe 13 Cool said it early in the show, man. I'm really hyped for this match. This is such a big match for both teams with all the storylines heading around it. I'm really curious and I'm hopeful that Sergi Roberto is on the starting lineup when the Galaxy tweet that out. And I'm really curious to see how he plays, man. If Greg's saying the first 15 minutes of training was him and Marco pinging it around, finding the spaces and the voids, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I think that's what this team's been missing way more than, maybe finishing in the final third. Although those two things need to come together now with 12 matches left in the season. The Galaxy are running out of time, and 3 points would be a huge lift for this team. I think it's getting to that point now. I think the Galaxy really do need the 3 points. It's not a must win, but God damn it, it's super close. Like it's as close to a must win without it being a must win. Like I said, and especially to leapfrog your opponents, right? We'll see how the other results hold up this weekend. But the Galaxy now have to start controlling their own destiny and not looking over their shoulder to their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it all, man. Control your own destiny. Be empowered. Go out there and play like you know you can. We've seen the Galaxy to their top potential. I mean, I asked Greg today, what is now that you have all your horses, what does an ideal LA Galaxy win look like? He said that they need to be able to take the game as it comes to them when they need to be in possession. They need to be able to be good enough to keep that possession and be dangerous. And likewise, when they need to go ahead and sit back and absorb and then break out in transition, they have to be able to be good enough to do that and be able to be good enough to switch between both. So let's hope they are able to switch between both, because I think this is going to be that kind of match where they have to pick and choose their moments, Ananda.
Yeah. It's interesting too how the spine, like what you just said, the spine of this team is super important. And that's why JT is probably going to be a big miss. So Novak's going to really need to step up from the back. But you think about the spine, Glesnes, Yoshida, Haken, Roberto, Kyogo. That spine is going to be Marco. Super important in managing traffic, right? Pointing to the right directions, calling out your defensive covers, all that stuff, right? The spine of this team is really important. Hopefully we get to see at least the beginnings of what's hopefully a good spine, like a really solid spine for this Galaxy team.
Yeah. Well, I think that brings us to the end. Like Jan Jackson said, is that the end? Yes, unfortunately. We hope to see you guys all in San Diego. When I say I mean myself. Hope to see you guys there. G's, travel safely on your road trip. Again, make sure and stay safe. It is a game. No fighting. Keep it on the up and up, and show them who Los Angeles is. And anything else to add before we call it here?
Just of course, love to all the Cuneros. Thank you guys as always for listening, and yeah, let's hope for 3 points this weekend. G's, vamos, G's up.
Yeah, yes, queso para arriba all day. On Monday, August 31st, we'll be with you to react to the Galaxy's win, loss, or draw against San Diego. Join us at 9 p.m. We hope to have a special guest for you that day as well. And like I said, of course, you'll know when we have those special guests when you subscribe to the show. Hit it up, y'all. We would love it forever. And I'm just going to take a shot with you if you do. But I think that wraps us up. We will catch you on Monday. Good luck to the Galaxy as they look for their first win against San Diego. Ananda's finishing his cortadito, and with that, we will also finish up. I think there's only one thing left to say.
Dale.
G.